But just a brief follow-up. This apocalypse, Lucifer thing, you're not going to stretch that to another season?
No. I mean, because again, I never dreamt we'd actually go this long. That we do have this 5-year story, and we are in the 5th year of the story, and that we feel we owe it to all of you and all the other fans to not water it down or dilute it or stretch it past this season, but to actually tell the story. One of the things that's nice about Supernatural is we don't go endless mystery on top of mystery. We're going to end this particular chapter.
Right.
We're going to end it with a bang. But that's not to say that another new chapter can't begin.
Apocalypse 2.
The apocalyptic.
So we will see. I mean, we will see with everything with season 6. Right now, we're just working on having season 5 be as kick-ass as possible.
Sounds good. Do we have some questions from the fans? We would love to hear them. Anybody?
There are no fans here.
Bueller? Oh, hello.
They're like, when's Smallville coming back?
This question is for Jim and Misha. What's it like knowing that your characters are just as important as Jensen and Jared's?
What would that be like? It would be great.
Who are Jensen and Jared?
No, it's nice actually to have a supporting cast like Jared and Jensen. I feel like they really, a lot of people think that they're dispensable and we don't need them anymore, and to an extent that's true. But they're just a great sort of supportive baseline for Jim and I to have to flesh out the stories that everyone really cares about.
They're kind of the pioneers who blazed the trail on the show and aren't really so necessary anymore, but you have to honor their contribution.
Thank you.
Hi. I was wondering if Cass is going to get to help out on any regular, ordinary Monster of the Week type hunts this year, and if so, what the dynamic with that would be like.
Yes. And the dynamic is awkward.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Devin. My question is for Cookie and the writers. I was just wondering if you always intended to take the series in this direction, for Rising Apocalypse, all that, or if you didn't always intend that, when you decided?
I get this question a lot. I mean, here's the reality, and I'm always accused of being probably too honest. You start these things with like a cocktail napkin sketch of the 5-year plan. I mean, the 5-year plan is a couple pages. It's not much. And it was always driven by the demon side of it. So yes, the progression up the demon ladder, ending with Sam inadvertently going dark side and bringing on the apocalypse and then having to deal with the apocalypse and kind of moving up the ladder from Yellow Eyes to Lilith to Lucifer. That's the plan we've been on. The angels, you can go back and find interviews that I gave where I was like, there will never be angels on this show over my dead body. And obviously it's probably one of the coolest parts of the show. And that came from us, I think, in the writer's room, realizing that we had a really cool evil empire, but we didn't have, outside of the few punchers we had, we didn't really have the rebellion. We didn't have, you couldn't have these awesome off-camera battles that sort of lent a real epic feel to the show. And that we felt there was a missing puzzle piece that kind of evolved as we went along, and that's where really the angels came from. And thank God they did, because totally rejuvenated season 4, in no small part to this guy. And Jim too. And so the angels, quite frankly, evolved. That part did evolve as the process, but the part of building up to facing down the devil has, that part at least, that thumbnail has kind of always been around since the beginning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, love you all, love the show. Awesome.
Thanks.
One of my favorite things about the show has always been the music, and I feel like it kind of
I know, and believe me, as much as it hurts you, it hurts us 10 times more. It's budget. It's we're just trying to get the production value on the screen, and we've had real nasty budget fights, and one of the casualties. I'll give you. We used to have a particular music budget for the show. It's like trying to balance the budget of the state of California. And one of the things that had to go is we cut the music budget in half. And we had to. And so we can now only afford one song every episode, one song every other episode. And when you go back and you look at season 1, and there's like 2 or 3 like badass classic rock songs an episode, and now we're lucky to have one every. But sometimes literally we're so over budgeted at times, we're so irresponsible with the size of the episodes we're writing, that sometimes it's the difference of getting the green light to shoot an episode, and you have to, you got to make the painful sacrifices just to keep the cameras rolling, and unfortunately the music sometimes goes by the wayside. But at the end, you can ask the publicist at Warner Brothers for an address, and we can start a letter writing campaign.
And if each of you would just contribute $100,000, we could put some more songs on the air.
Yeah, and
And we could go to a couple of cool places.
No, thank you. We can't take your money.
Okay, all right, we'll take it.
That might be illegal, I'm not sure.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. First off, Jim. It's glad to see Uncle Bobby back on the show after his little vacation on Harper's Island.
Thank you.
My question is for Eric. In episode 4, you said you teased about looking into the future. I want to know how you're going to address the themes of destiny and whether or not you can change. Like, is it going to be like whatever happened, or can you change the future?
I actually want to throw that to the writer of the episode.
It's a good question. But actually, I think that's really the question of the episode. I think we went into that process. That destiny is one of the key themes of the show. And going 5 years into the future, this is a time travel story, so it has like a couple of mind-bending loop things going on, and the entire question of can you avoid it is really, can you avoid what you already know is going to happen? Can you change the outcome of the future by the choices you make? That's actually, it won't be a satisfactory answer now, because that's actually what the episode's about.
An excellent casting of Mark Pellegrino for, who?
Right. Can you talk a bit about that? That's actually, if I can follow on, how much will we see Mark, and what sort of level will he be at in terms of how much we'll see him?
Currently, he's shooting episode 1, episode 3, and then we probably actually won't see him for a while. If you remember, the amount that we actually saw Lilith wasn't all that often, because every time you bring in a bad guy, it becomes really challenging, especially if you want to create that bad guy as a truly formidable adversary.
Sure.
Because you can't meet up with the bad guy every week, get to know them, have them keep losing, have the bad guy keep losing, and then it starts to get goofy. And so, he'll pop in, he'll make random appearances. And then in terms of Mark, it's actually funny because I know he's on Lost and he's badass as Jacob. I mean, I watch Lost, and he was in the running for Castia. And it was, I only say this to pay credit to them both, which is it was between Misha and Mark, and they were both so excellent, and Misha squeaked by, but Misha just sort of, I'm kidding, it's a joke. Misha embodied the character, and he brought that sort of curiosity to it that was really sort of thrilling, that kind of sort of alien curiosity. And so, but we always loved Mark, and he was always in the back of our heads, and so when the part of Lucifer came up, we said, we went right to Mark. He never even auditioned. We just made him an offer, and he took the part, and there you go. Are you okay?
I could have been Lucifer too.
Yeah.